Hey, it's Joel Peters, and it is currently 1 degree out in South Surrey. I have a Gamester X2S USB-C edition, and I've got GTA 4 here, not 5, but GTA 4, sitting on my phone. I got it installed. So anyway, we got a controller here. All my controls are set up. You can see the temperature is 34 Celsius. Turn our temperature or our sound down because it will sound bad. I'm currently walking my dog. And I think 34 Celsius is more than fine for a game like this. Move it to the top, and you can see everything is fine. And yeah, I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of how it plays on the Galaxy S24 Plus, because it's cold, and one of the things I've noticed about this phone is that it does get really, really hot quite quickly when you're playing emulated Windows games. And so we have everything set up, which you can see. There's our settings. I put it to low just to try to get the most frame rate possible. It is a version of Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't know which patch version we're on. Music works, as you can hear. But we're going to have that turned down, so that way I can actually, talk as I do this. You can see the temperature is steadily increasing. The highest I've gotten from this temperature is about 50 Celsius, which is quite a lot. 2, 3. Okay, that's counting how long my dog went to the bathroom. So it is quite high, and I'd like to see this average out at about maybe 45 is kind of the highest I'd like to see it go to. Not anything higher than that. So it was trying to load a save game, but because of this version that I have, the save game won't load up properly. You can load up save game, but anyway, I basically ran a save game before, and it's like corrupted or whatever. So anyways, we've now seen it go up to 39 Celsius. The phone is basically surrounded by the controller because it is USB-C. So again, I have looked into other options too for that, but I'm just going for a quick walk, as I mentioned here, with my dog. Hopefully he doesn't pull me, because I don't have a case on this phone. So one issue with this controller is that it doesn't accept cases really easily. So anyway, loading failed. Starting new game. Subtitles are on, so you'll be able to see it, but yeah, let's see how this goes. Temperature is increased to 39 Celsius. Like I said, you won't hear anything except this.
Drive us to that place and more.
I've turned the music down too. Alright, so game clearly works. We're getting 48 FPS, so it's going really well. My fingers are really cold. But again, we're just testing to see if this is actually playable, because the biggest issue with this phone that I hope the S25 Ultra and Plus and all the variants address is the frame rate basically being throttled due to the cooling. The S22 was guilty of this. The S23 I don't know, but the S24 cooler is just not as strong as it could be. We've already increased to 40 Celsius. Now, theoretically, doing this test, we should be able to get ourselves at least probably to about 42 Celsius, and it should temper off. What that means is ultimately, if it does have enough cooling or does have enough, outside cooling, you could theoretically be able to connect probably a fan of some sort, maybe like a powered fan on batteries or something like that. Have it all powered by like a battery pack, and you could theoretically get it to work, but and have it directly on the cooler. And there is a cooler that is designed for phones like this. Wow, that was really, really skilled. Wow, I'm like stuck in here. I don't think I'm gonna get through. Okay, well, that happened. Clearly, we made a serious error. We're gonna have to restart if we can get through. I don't think it's gonna happen. But it hasn't increased any higher in temperature. So what I'd like to see now is if we were to increase our graphics to something a little bit higher. Let's do 16, we'll upper view distance to 33, 35, and we'll leave definition, that's fine. Actually, we'll do auto configure and see what happens. So, put auto configure on, which sets it to that. Okay, it's like this is what the phone is capable of. You have to restart it sometimes, but anyway. Still seems to be running okay. So we have increased 1 extra degree. Again, we're not testing frame rate here. This is more so, can the phone even handle it? Now, touching the phone, it does get quite a bit warm. It's not toasty or anything like that. But yeah, I'm I'm stuck. So we're just going to do some walking around as Niko here. And we'll just see what we got. So we got a decent amount. Now keep in mind, when I'm running PS2 emulation, it's not as bad. Windows, just for whatever reason, is bad. But again, the reason I'm making this video is because I was wanting to look into getting like a dedicated handheld with better cooling to play GTA 4 on the go. It's really, really dumb, but anyway. Here's what happens if you hit save, by the way, just in case you're wondering. So Cousins Bellic, I chose the save. Loading content, please don't turn off your system. And if it works, yeah, see, it says it appears to be saved or damaged and cannot be loaded. So then what it's going to do is it's going to load up a new game. Or actually, it crashes. Well, that's always fun. Yeah, that's a fun thing to do. 42 Celsius. So we have capped out at 42. So this is more than usable. I think you could probably get away with this on like a bus or whatever. I have tried other games like Fallout New Vegas and some other things, and that has been okay, performance-wise. But yeah, Winlator running GTA 4, like I said, it's kind of a dream because I don't have a mobile version of it. There is like an Android port that's not very good, which I might look into. But anyway, I just wanted to play this and see how it is. The version I have, like I said, it slims it down because it cuts out all the cutscene audio, so that the game is like, you know, only 9 or 10 gigs versus the standard 30 or so gigs. And when you have only a 256 gig phone and you use it as your regular daily driver, it does add up in size. But there you go, that was a test of it. Game clearly crashed. That was a problem because I did load up a previous save game. And just to jump right back in, you know, it does work. To be clear, I haven't tried out any other emulators through Winlator. Theoretically, you could probably play a game like Naughty Bear on PS3 through this. Theoretically, I don't know how viable it would actually be. Making sure my dog just didn't attach. Also, I've noticed too that the performance is just not, you know, the greatest thing ever. I would like to see how the Snapdragon 8, the Elite, basically does, the new one for Samsung. I hope that the S25 is good, and I'm waiting for ETA Prime's, you know, emulation review. But if you're wondering, this does play Switch games just fine. And Switch is one of those things that would be pretty good for a device like this. But, you know, Windows emulation is something that's kind of been the dream for a lot of people. Being able to play GTA 5 on the go is a dream of many, many people. For me personally, I have a preference for 4. I think 4 is a better game, but 5 did a lot of cool things, and I don't want to be super controversial or anything like that. So I just figured I would show you the performance live so you can actually see what's going on and have an understanding just how it performs on a flagship tier phone from last year. It's not an Ultra, but it basically is the same chipset as the Ultra from last year. So again, I wanted to show you that. Same, you know, 12 gigs of RAM, all that. It is a good little experience overall. I can't complain. My only real complaint, honestly, would be the fact that it's just, it does struggle with heat. And having a cooling fan built into this controller would be awesome. Again, it's the GameSir X2S USB-C. So it's the updated version, better triggers, things like that. The triggers are actually far better than the standard X2 that I have, which is the Bluetooth edition. But there is a couple things that I've noticed, and I do have a video coming at some point. I did lose a micro SD card that had a bunch of PS2 ROMs and stuff like that. The other issue with Winlator as well is that you're not able to run external storage, at least not. It takes a bit of finagling to figure out. So I couldn't actually figure it out properly. There's like a command line file you have to change or whatever, and it's just not fun. So, you know, there are phones, there are devices that have external storage, micro SD specifically. And I was trying to, and I did get it to work, where you could run, you know, an external, using a USB hub, basically, you could get a micro SD card and an adapter, or like a USB drive or an SSD, and the GameSir controller and everything connected all at once. And it did actually work. It was just not the same way you would want it to. And you need enough clearance, and these phones are too big for this controller to be modded. Yes, you can mod it, but you'd still run into the same problem overall, and that's, you know, making sure that everything's secure. Because what was cool, though, is what did allow me to keep using a case, which I thought was really, really nice. But anyway, here, like I said, is a performance. I'm not going to max it out. It makes no sense on a little screen like this, comparatively. But the fact that it does work is really astounding. And I think what I will do is I will grab a copy of Xenia, and I will grab a copy of GTA 4, and I will test that as well on Winlator, or however you can get Xbox 360 emulation working on Android. I think it'd be really cool to try it. So again, I'm very excited to see how this goes, and maybe I can get Winlator or whatever emulator to work through micro SD storage or through SD cards or whatever, and that way actually it would save me a lot of things. But you can see, even, you know, our temperature has dropped down to 39 Celsius, which is more than fine. The beautiful thing about being on Winlator specifically is because this game is set to It's an offline game. I don't need to be connected to the internet. And like I said, that 40 degrees Celsius has made it nice and cool. Now, I have a 5G connection on my phone, so, you know, it is technically connected to the internet, but this is not connected to my PC. Now, if I want a better frame rate and I want a better service, it would, yeah, absolutely. If I wanted to be on the go and to reduce the amount of heat that this thing is outputting, especially downstairs in my office, I would definitely be wanting to do cloud streaming or like Xbox Game Pass or whatever. But just for, you know, having it on the device, ready to go and just kind of screw around and drive around Liberty City, I see no issues with this at all, and I think it's a pretty solid solution. So yeah, that's kind of it. My name is Joel Peters, and thank you for watching this video, I guess. I'm glad that the temperatures were stable, and I would like to see, I guess, a fan mod for the game, sir. I did actually consider taking a big 140mm case fan, or at least a 120mm, even an 80mm, and just sticking it onto the back of the phone and just seeing how it cools it, because that's kind of what these modded fans are doing, in fact. My fingers are getting cold, so I'm going to go inside now. But thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Alright, bye for now.